All right. So impromptu live. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna listen to this. I already see zero viewers because they didn't know I was going live. It's okay. I already know there's a lot more attention that's going over to another live right now, but I'm just doing this vid, and maybe I might do a part two to this tomorrow. But just to get this off of my chest, I was out all day minding my own business. I wasn't even concerned about nothing. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like whatever. I was out. I come back, and all of a sudden, it's all these lives talking about how Fresh and Fit, Fresh and Fit is excommunicated from the Manosphere. Now, I need help understanding this shit. Like, hold on. Let's rewind. Fresh and Fit, Myron and that other dude, the dark skinned brother, like they are excommunicated from the Manosphere. How? And then I'm getting word that it's coming from O'Shea, right? It's coming from O'Shea. So O'Shea was the one that said that Fresh and Fit is excommunicated from the Manosphere? Is that's what's being told right now. And now you have a bunch of dudes on a panel who's probably not even affiliated with the Manosphere at the least bit, and dudes that's affiliated with the Manosphere having a whole entire shindig talking about bullshit like tricking and all this other stuff. And I may repeat myself tomorrow just because I know there's people not really listening right now, and that's fine. Like I said, it's fine if nobody's watching, but I really wanted to get this off my chest because this is fucking crazy. Number one, and I think this is the only real point that I have to make. Who the fuck ever said that Fresh and Fit was part of the Manosphere? Like, help me understand that. Were they probably, what's good, Tampa? Who, like, when have they ever been part of the Manosphere, bro? Like, Fresh and Fit makes red pill content at best. If not, one of those materials where, peace, Bronze, But like, this is a thing I need to understand because I don't do this gossip shit, right? I don't like doing gossip shit. But niggas is online right now talking about tricking again, and then sitting up there having a whole entire conversation about this whole entire thing that happened with Abba and Preach and fucking Myron and the other dude. Again, who is claiming these niggas? Yo, if anybody's listening to this chat right now, who's claiming these dudes? Since when is Fresh and Fit a part of the Manosphere? Since when? I've never heard these niggas be part of the Manosphere. How y'all randomly taking random niggas and putting them into groups? Why? Because they lost some subscriptions? Off of some shit they pulled with Abba and Preach? Look. I want to see the roster. That's all I'm saying. I want to see the roster. If y'all are telling me that these dudes is a part of the Manosphere, where's the roster that proves that? I've never heard these dudes claim they're part of the Manosphere. Never in a day. I've been here less than a year. No, actually, I've been here for a year. Never seen these dudes on panels. Ever. Never seen them on panels. So how are y'all having a conversation saying these dudes is a part of the Manosphere when just because it's some so-called white girl that's online right now sitting up there talking about how there was some sexual text messages leaked back and forth between her and Myron? What the fuck? Look, listen, this is all I'm saying. You have random dudes that claim they're part of the Manosphere every day. You never see them on panels. All they do is watch. They never claim to be a part of the Manosphere. I mean, no, they claim to be part of the Manosphere. We don't know these niggas. We don't know you. What's your track record? Where have you been on these panels having conversations against the OGs that's in the space? And newcomers like myself, since I've only been here for a year. Now, they've been saying that they had the Red Pill Manosphere thing since 2007. Or at least the blueprint for the Manosphere since at least 2007. Right? I'm not going to sit up there and say I know the history because I don't know the history like that. I'm just telling you my start off year was last year. I came into the Manosphere last year, right? And my thing about it, this is what I'm trying to say, man. Fresh and Fit, right? Fresh and Fit is just one of those dudes out there, like those dudes out there that just get these random ass bimbos on panels, talk all this shit about remedial dating situations going back and forth, and if Myron gets upset, then he goes ahead and Frank Castles a girl and then kick him off the panel. He gets loud and boisterous. He yells at them. He says, "No, you need to leave, bitch. You need to leave, bitch." You know what I mean? And I shout out to my dude Wacky because he was having a conversation about this today, and I'm like, yo, yeah, like this is what I mean. You have a bunch of dudes that's just happy that they're getting pussy or getting some type of attention because they have women on a panel, and they're trying to give y'all this falsehood of what it's like to get all these badass women. When all it is about clout at the end of the day. You have random dudes that's just going up on panels, having remedial conversations. The big flexers come on a panel, and they sit up there and they talk about, yeah, son, you know, because this is what you do to holla at girls. And they think they somebody because they try to put these girls in check. You understand? Like, I'm. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm really confused on how the hell this became a topic of conversation. Because since when are we really claiming random dudes in this space? Because this space is full of shit. It is. Because you got a lot of dudes that talk about bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I see with MGTOW too. Dudes want to make videos of women just embarrassing themselves. They just play random clips that they find on YouTube or World Star Hip Hop. Never do a full analysis and then just be like, yeah, this is how girls are. Well, at the end of the day, you still want women. So, I mean, I don't know what the prerogative is if y'all going to take that approach to be talking about low-level shit and thinking that's supposed to move somewhere, bro. Like, listen, I'm not going to lie, like, I don't participate in some discussions because I'm in the Manosphere. I'm not going to deny like I'm not. I am. But at the same time, this is what really bugs me about this situation. You understand? Like, I'm just saying, show, like, I'm pretty sure that they talk about other stuff, and I'm talking about Fresh and Fit, but their whole entire reason why they get views is because women is on their panels. If it was just them talking about workout shit and talking about, not even talking about how to get women, no one would pay attention to these dudes. And before y'all come outside and y'all say, yo, Bronzebird, you hating. I'm not hating on nobody's hustle. I'm not hating on nobody. They got to where they are. I'm still trying to work to get to my 1K. I'm only at 100 something right now. So I'm cool off that. I'm not going to even flex my muscles on that. I'm not going to even spread no bad vibes. Let them continue to do what they do, but I have the availability to critique it how I want to, right? I can critique it and say this is some bullshit. Like talking about game, talking about game and tricking. And let's make this clear when we're talking about tricking. Tricking is nothing more but for dudes to show off that they can court a woman. Okay? That's to me what tricking is. Y'all dudes is going on panels talking about tricking this and tricking that. Don't trick and this, that, and the third. In order to get pussy, you're going to pay for it. Unless it's some random shorty you met at a club, a house party, and you just smashed her brains out on that date alone. Otherwise than that, if you're not courting or courting, if you're meeting the woman out for a date or you're taking somewhere, you're going to spend money on her. So dudes making all these complaints and sit up there talking about, oh, well, you know, tricking this and tricking that. What the fuck are you niggas talking about? You understand? Like, I just... because dudes of this time are trying to just... It's like dudes are still in red pill rage. But really, they're blue pill. All right? And dudes in this space talk about how a lot of this space has become purple pill. And when I'm starting to see and I'm starting to witness it, I say I couldn't even agree with you more. It's purple pill out here. Dudes is still trying to make negotiations with these women on panels. And then sit up there talking about, oh, I don't trick. What are you talking about? Like, yo, I look, listen, to anybody, that one person who's watching, listen, man, I'm tired of having these remedial conversations, but I'm surprised as fuck. Just because Fresh and Fit gets into a conflict, now all of a sudden they're part of the Manosphere. Where's the roster? If Obsidian was the one that made up the roster, where are their names on the roster? Because I did not see Fresh and Fit on the roster. So how are y'all claiming random dudes in the space that's not a part of this space? And if it's O'Shea that's doing it, I'm not going to critique O'Shea. I'm going to know my place, but I'm going to have to disagree with O'Shea. How are they part of the Manosphere? How are you sitting up there talking about they're excommunicated when they never was in the space? When did they ever claim to be Manosphere dudes? When did they ever claim that? I've never heard Myron, for instance, ever claim he's part of the Manosphere. And the other dude is his sidekick. So, of course, whatever Myron says is what he's going to say. That's it and that's all. You just have two grown men who's in their late 20s, early 30s, having conversations with IG models, IG thoughts, and bimbos, at best, on panels inside of their apartment. So y'all niggas are sitting up there claiming these random ass dudes in this space and then sitting up there talking about, oh, this is what the Manosphere is. How y'all niggas remaking rules, fam? How, like, help me understand this shit for myself. Y'all literally are remaking rules into this space. And then sitting up there saying that this is what it is. No, it's not what it is, bro. Because if that was the case, they would have been said they're part of it. I've never seen these dudes on panels. Ever. I've never seen Myron and his sidekick on a panel of a dude that's in the Manosphere. Now, dudes have sat up there and said they've been involved. Myron has been involved. But it's just like anybody else. They could have been spectators. So, merely, what it is that you're just allowing random spectators who've never ever came out and said they're part of the Manosphere, now they're part of the Manosphere. But Y'all the same dudes that was arguing last month how y'all got mad about how some so-called black man sat up there was talking about the Black Manosphere magazine. That's what y'all was mad at last month. Because I was even watching from the clouds about that shit. Right? And the fact of the matter is now people want to talk about trademarks. Angry Man got pulled into it, and then a couple of OGs got pulled into it, and nothing really finessed after that. It was just, oh, this is the Manosphere magazine. What we gonna do now? What we gonna do now? And you know what? Negroes still didn't do shit. Negroes didn't do shit. So y'all first is we need to get this joint trademark. We trying to tell what we need to do in this space. Y'all get a kick out of arguing with bitches on panels, especially random ass divester and pink pill trolls who come to people's panels to start an argument and talk about how much they do not like black men. It makes no sense. Then these random ass dudes that's known for kicking random ass bimbos off of their panels, these niggas get a pass in being in the manosphere? Like I'm not, and listen, the way that I'm speaking right now is I'm always excitable when I talk. So don't take this as me being angry. I'm not angry. I'm just surprised as hell. I've been out all day minding my own business and I see nothing but fuckery when I come back home. That there's a live going on right now, JX of course, and you got these random dudes from the UK and America sitting up there talking about this is what happened with Myron. This is what happened on a text message because the white girl said so. Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. So my thing is, y'all are just gossiping at this point. And this is the reason why the manosphere will never move nowhere. Yeah, it may become more notable. There might be dudes out there that might become more notarized from this ordeal, but this doesn't mean that it's gonna move the pin, the needle pin is gonna move. It's gonna stay where it's at, and y'all gonna have the same conversation once another dude who might be red pill does something outrageous or they have an argument. All of y'all dudes is gossiping. Excuse me. All of y'all dudes is gossiping. All right. That's all I gotta say. I mean, there's never no wins. Okay, like it's never no wins. It's gonna be the same shit next week, the week after that, and then it's gonna be these conversations about well tricking. This is how you talk to women, or women need to look. This is the thing that I forgot to talk about on here. Also the thing that dudes love to talk about is how they try to wish for women to. When you want women to be feminine, right? You want these modern day women to be feminine when it's not even in their DNA at this point in time. It's not going to happen. Okay? Y'all are wishing for a fucking star, an Orion star in the sky, and wishing that these women would be feminine. And y'all still out here trying to make negotiations with random ass women and say, well, this is how you be feminine. This is how men want to do it, this, that, and the third. Oh, I got these numbers of businesses. I'm a real man. The fuck y'all niggas talking about, yo? Like that ass? Like I'm really need help with this shit, yo. And look, as usual, I know there's 0 people watching. I'm gonna just leave the link right here if y'all want to come up and y'all want to express y'all piece on this because this is crazy as hell. You understand? If y'all want to come up, if y'all don't want to come up, that's fine. This was just an impromptu live, right? I just wanted to do this for my own thing. I might do another discussion about this tomorrow, and it's gonna be the same thing. It's probably gonna be another impromptu live, just so I can talk about it in depth because this is nuts. What? You can't make this shit up. Like I like yo, where are we going? Where are we going? Okay, like I don't like. There's dudes that claim to be in a manosphere every day. That they claim to be in a space. They claim, yo, our manosphere. We know you. We don't know where you come from. You just started joining panels or ghost watching or bird watching. You were not out here on these panels, fam. You didn't do the dirty work. Nobody knows you. But getting back to these dudes in the manosphere, I swear, with them, their whole entire logic is, oh, well, you know, we have to talk about women. We have to talk about women. we need women to be submissive. Okay, this is how you crash off of the topic of this idea about women being feminine. You look for a woman that's on your program, therefore has the same interests as you or similar interests as you, and you work from there. You still have to understand the pathology of women, understand how they move and how they react and how they are. They have their whole brain system is different from how a man's brain system is. You know how you know this? Because you learn it from your mother or you learn it from women siblings in your family or female kins in your family. That's how you learn about women. So y'all are honestly out here talking about how women need to be submissive. Submissive to what? You're talking about Keishas. You want Keishas to be fucking submissive. Keishas don't want to be submissive. Nigga, they want to be able to wear panties and wear boxers in the relationship. You understand that, right? That they're wearing briefs and panties at the same time, and y'all are sitting up there talking about, yeah, but you taking my drawers though. Bitch nigga, you gave them your drawers, bro. I don't get it with dudes, man. Y'all out here sitting up there making arguments off of stuff that's not conclusive at all. And then y'all out here claiming random niggas in this space that's not even a part of this space. The red pill MGTOW and all this stuff. And please help me. If I'm not educated enough, I'll take that L. Believe you me, anybody can correct Bronzebird if you feel the need to. Correct me. I'm all about corrections. I'm all about being put in my place if I'm wrong. That's how I've always been. If I'm wrong about something, tell me I'm wrong. That's cool. But at the same time, am I wrong for sitting up there saying that Fresh and Fit is not part of the Manosphere? That they do their own shit? And that y'all like their material because you're looking for material to make on YouTube? Because trust me, if it wasn't an argument about Fresh and Fit, what would we be talking about in the Manosphere? About how random dudes hopped up on panels arguing with chicks that's in the Manosphere? About how dudes is trying to dox other dudes in the space, and about how dudes is getting mad because women is in this space, and how they should react when they're in this space, when they're working to your benefit. Like, how far are y'all gonna take it? There's no rules, there's no strategy, there is nothing to be said about shit like this. Do you understand me? There's like I'm telling you, yo, I'm like, yo, just to find this shit out after I've been out all day is crazy to me. And listen, I'm not mad. So don't think for a second again. Let me reiterate, because I always repeat myself, but I repeat myself for a reason. I'm repeating myself because I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand. Bronzebird is not tight about anything. I'm a little ass channel. Not a lot of people watch my lives. That's fine. But the thing about it is, when I recognize bullshit, I recognize bullshit. And the bullshit here is, number one, dudes is claiming random ass dudes in this space that's not a part of this space. Number two, y'all don't have no guidelines or rules when it comes to this space. Number three, y'all look for arguments, anything that's entertaining, then sit up there and say this is part of the Manosphere. But y'all trying to sit up there and come up with what the Manosphere is. What is the Manosphere then? Because we all know this is a branch off of the white Manosphere, right? We made our own shit. We was like, okay, this is the black Manosphere. I'm still young in this shit. I've only been here for under a year. It's now a year anniversary of me being in the Manosphere. Fine, cool. But me after a while, conversations become redundant. And then it's just like, cool, we already talked about that. Why are we not talking about business? Why are we not talking about crypto? Why are we not talking about the fourth wave, the fourth industrial wave, the fourth industrial revolution, whatever, you know what I mean, right? Like, why are we not talking about things like this? This is very important for the space, yeah? And the thing about it is, that's all I'm trying to say. If we're going to move proficiently as men so we can have these bitches shut the fuck up and stop talking, you can't give them what they want. Peace, Blue Lion. Excuse me. You can't give them what they want. You have to weed out exactly what it is. And honestly speaking, you have to ignore them. Y'all still sit up there trying to have arguments about Cynthia G and fucking Crystal and Karazin when it's plain to see that both of them still like black men. Okay? Half of these divestors and half of these like These pink pillars like black men. They're using white men to create a false competition for you guys so that y'all can go to bat for against white men and sit up there and say, "Oh, yo, see that? I could love a black woman the way that I could." And both you motherfuckers is lame anyway. Cause you got black women out here blamming and sitting up out here talking about how the white man is great. They get caught up in situations and they be like, "Oh, I didn't expect that to happen." Black dudes out here caping for white women and sit up there talking all this shit, but then getting surprised that they being called a nigga with an ER. This is what's going on. So on both sides, both of you motherfuckers is annoying. And this is what y'all put in this space. Then there's white girls that come into space and there's nothing else to talk about but just the regular old shit. They wait. And this is a crazy thing. Every time it's a white person that comes into the black manosphere, all of a sudden there's this ploy like, oh my God, it's a white person that came into the manosphere. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, help me understand this shit for myself, bro. Like, I need help understanding this, bro. Like, I'm talking too much. I need water. My voice is parched. Okay? But am I not dropping facts, guys? Am I not dropping no jewels right now about the fuckery and the buffoonery you see in this space? And that I'm coming home from whatever it is that I'm doing, and all of a sudden these random dudes that just have random bimbos on their panels is now considered part of the manosphere. What are y'all teaching? Y'all don't even teach history. All y'all dudes sit up there and talk about is what happened in the 1960s. Okay? Nobody wants to talk about what happened with so-called black men before 1619. Or what happened in the 1700s. What happened in the 1800s. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about the black-owned businesses we have out here right now. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Instead, what y'all want to talk about is whatever hits the headlines for the week, who had an argument and what content creator said what. That's what y'all want to talk about. Okay? This is the whole entire conversation and what it boils down to. So, all right, guys, hold on. Let me drink my water because my voice is parched. Like I said, I'm not begging anybody to come on a live stream. I just had to get this off my chest because this is crazy as hell. And I'm literally watching a live right now, seeing this shit, and I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? I don't understand where this comes from. Hold on. Man. Okay. All right, cool. Cool. My voice is good. So that's basically about it because right now, on my time, 9:53 p.m. on a Saturday, you already see at least 5 streams going on right now about the fresh and fit shit. This is what dudes is doing online, talking about fresh and fit all day. Before that, y'all was just happy that Myron was sitting up there yelling at these random ass chicks on panels and Frank Castling them. I don't even know where Frank Castle comes from. Ignoring the fact of the matter of their looks. They look good, but the reason why I call them bimbos is because they add nothing to the conversation. They add nothing. Dudes is just trying to find out a way to talk about the feminism and pull out the feminist card and all this weak ass shit and sit up there and talk about, oh yeah, she's acting like a feminist. Y'all damn near calling every woman a damn feminist if it was up to me. And any woman that disagrees with what you're saying and you speak to them they're speaking to you respectfully, she's a feminist. How's she a feminist? See, these jewels have been dropped from a woman that me and Blue Lion know of. Not to call you out, bro, but of course because she was around in MGTOW spaces and then was around in the Manosphere. And then it was like if it's disagreeable shit and they're trolling, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, well, she's a feminist. Okay. But then this is the weirdo thing about these Manosphere dudes out here. Y'all are allowing the Men Haters Club, TMHC, who are nothing more but a bunch of trolls, to be involved in some part of these discussions and these panels. And y'all been letting this shit rock out for like a year now. Past a year, probably before I even came into this space, y'all let it rock out. I'm sitting up there looking at y'all profound, like, why are y'all allowing these trolls who's naming themselves TMHC, who gets dolled up on a StreamYard panel, and sit up there and want to argue with random dudes on panels, and making y'all look like fools because y'all out here sitting up there talking about, well, we don't do that. Us as men, we don't do that. We don't do that. Like, help me. Help. Anybody who's Manosphere in this chat, hit this link. If y'all would have sit up there and defend this shit, man. Y'all are letting trolls come into this space. Nobody knows these TMHC girls. Who are they? We don't know them. They sit up there trying to act like pick-me's because they was testing y'all niggas. They was testing y'all. They was sitting up there trying to find out, how can I be nice to these dudes and pull these dudes' whole cards out here? Not to run off of what Zero said, but just the fact that matter, like, this was something random that happened. I don't know these women. They just started showing up in the chat. Then they started going on the panels, and then they just wanted to start arguing with women who's actually in the Manosphere. The only person they really wanted to argue with was JX. That's the only person they wanted to argue with. If it wasn't her, they would shut the hell up. The sisterhood already invaded the Manosphere. Y'all just didn't see it because y'all allow the fuck shit to happen. And that's the thing about, and the thing that perplexes me is, y'all then have the same women. This is the crazy thing about these women, but you shouldn't be surprised about it. Peace, Carmel. But this is the thing you gotta be surprised about. These women are married, having a conversation about men. Again, help me. Why are you concerned about the rhetoric of men if you are married? I need help. I need help. If y'all are not concerned, if you're married to your man, what business is it for you to hit the StreamYard link and have these conversations about what men should do? You should be concerned about what your husband is doing. You shouldn't be concerned about anybody else but your husband and what he likes. You should even be offering these women step-by-step courses on how to be a pick-me. That's how this stuff works out, and how to be a respectable woman to get the man that you want. But they don't want to do that. So that's why I ignore the whole entire conversation with women coming into the panel and talking about what they're talking about. Because that's what they're going to do. But when you boil it down to these conversations, where do we go? Nowhere. We just talk about the same old stuff, and then it's week to week to week to week, and we have no solutions. There's never been no solutions. Dudes just want to argue. Dudes just want to sit up there and talk about random stuff and make negotiations with Keishas. Keishas is not your friends. Keishas don't love you, fam. They don't love you. They don't. What's that shit that Drake says? Drake says, they don't love you more than like I do. Like something like that. Like, they don't love you, fam. They may want your attention, but they don't love you. Keisha's want it their way. And this is another thing that I want to talk about, since dudes love to talk about this whole entire shit. Dudes love to bring up Pookies and Ray Rays when it conveniences them. I have to talk about that, because dudes love talking about this Pookie and Ray Ray shit. Okay, let's be real. What is the categories of what makes a Pookie and a Ray Ray? Are you a Pookie and a Ray Ray based upon the stuff that you talk about, or is it because of the fact of the matter you have some type of job, therefore you're talking about that? Thank you again, Sir Abadayo. I appreciate you. But this is the thing that I'm trying to say. Y'all are out here talking about Pookie and Ray Ray this, Pookie and Ray Ray that. Okay, some of you dudes that get on a panel that might not even be part of the Manosphere, y'all sound like y'all Pookies. I'm sorry. Y'all don't sound educated in the least bit. Y'all don't even talk about the legislation or talk about the reading levels that happen in these schools, and about how so-called black men are reading at a low level when it comes to the reading scores, and about how these school districts are lower in certain counties. And when it comes to inner city schools, it's more worse when it's in the inner city than, let's say, the suburbs. When are these children getting appropriate education? Since it's about to be September, right? It's about to be September's in like less than a week, right? Yeah, exactly, Tampa. We're educated lames. And mind you, where does this come from, Tampa? This still comes from, this comes from Women. This comes from Keisha's. Keisha's that just want to make the excuse, I don't like black men like you because you're a nerd. We don't like nerds. Okay, we don't like blurs, okay? Because that's the stuff they use on social media now, blurs. And my thing is, I tell you all the time, I like blurred women. I like black nerdy women. I've always said that profoundly. But that's not the point. My thing about it is, if y'all talking about Pookies and Ray Rays, give me a real definition of what a Pookie and Ray Ray is. Do you fit that? Now, I know in certain degrees, I ain't shit, but I will never call myself a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Because I'm not. I have standards. I have ways that I move about myself that's different from a Pookie and a Ray Ray. And then you have certain dudes that live on their high horse just because they don't live in the hood no more, or that they don't live in the hood at all, and all of a sudden, oh, I ain't no Pookie and Ray Ray. You a Pookie and Ray Ray because you from the hood. So now, exclaiming that point, a Pookie and a Ray Ray would only be a so-called black man that lives in the hood. Okay, let's take that for example. I live in the hood, right? Does that make me a Pookie and Ray Ray? Probably not. Probably not. And I'm not a Pookie and Ray Ray. I went to college. I sat up there and work. I sat up there and I do work. I work. You understand what I'm saying? I do things. So no, I'm not a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That would be very inaccurate to say. But that's my whole entire thing on it. And it's just like, yo, like, I'm like, you don't know, understand how crazy it was seeing this whole entire thing play out today. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, y'all are tripping. Fresh and Fit is not a part of the goddamn Manosphere. I don't know where the hell y'all get off talking about this shit. I don't know how they became part of the Manosphere. I've never heard these niggas, yo. Like, who are these? I've never heard of these dudes. Like, oh, yo, we allowing random people in this space, dog. Like, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's slow down. Now, Tampa says Pookie and Ray Ray is a mindset. Okay. And I can see why that is, because it is a mindset. We're trying to... Okay, so the thing about it is, with so-called black men, we are trying to reorganize our perception of how we're being... I don't want to say words at the same time. We want to have a different perception of ourselves in this society, which is a great thing. I am 100% down with so-called black men having a different outlook about themselves. Now, let's say, for instance, growing up, you know, Steve Urkel, Stefan was like the cool nerd, the nerd that became cool. Then when you had your other nerds that happened, I don't want to reveal my age, but you know, obviously when it came to the rap game, we got sick and tired of hearing rap songs about killing other dudes and selling drugs and selling packs. Okay, we had hieroglyphics. We had a couple of dudes from the West Coast that rapped about stuff. We had dudes in New York that was rapping about conscious rap. Okay, later on down the line in the 2000s, because this was like one of my like favorite artists, is Charles Hamilton. Charles Hamilton is a favorite artist of mine. He was pulling out the whole entire thing about how it's Sega, and it's about that game. I forgot the game, the Sonic the Hedgehog, right? We know him for that. Now the pink thing is a little bit out there, but it is what it is. But that exclaimed, so-called black men can be cool, can be hood-ish, but still be nerdy at the same time. Now going down the line, around 2012, 2013, we got Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, was the one that kind of came in the game like, yo, I'm a nerd and this is who I am, right? But, yo, I'm multi-talented though. I'm an actor, I'm a rapper, no, excuse me, I'm a music artist, and I direct my own show. That's what's up, right? Then we had a couple of more dudes that came out there. Then you had the Griot. Then you had a couple of these like black vlogs, these black blog sites that had these dudes out here talking about, yo, I'm a blurred. This is me. I'm a black nerd. Everybody had their story. Everybody had their own thing that they was talking about, what they was putting out there for people to see about. This is the perception of the black dudes that's not noticed, right? We are not getting recognition out here for being nerds. Nerds is just not dudes that read comic books all the time and talk about Comic-Con and all these different things. There's different levels to what a so-called black man who is a nerd is. It could be video games. It could be dudes that's into history, because I'm a history geek. I love history. And then there could be dudes out there that's just into technological stuff. So we wanted to spin the arrow and say, so-called black men can be more than just thugs. We can be more than just these random dudes out there that dress like a degenerate, look like a degenerate. We can wear our pants up on our asses, okay? We don't wear our pants off our asses. We can still be cool. We can, oh, excuse me. Then you had that movie in 2014 called Dope, which was a pivotal film exclaiming the lost voices of so-called black men that live in the hood. The OD nerdy dudes that's still fashionable AF, okay? Them dudes out there, he could dress to kill, but he still lives in the hood, and he's working on his way to go to college, okay? Those are the things that happen, right? So that goes on. That movie came out. I don't know if there's any other movie, but getting to my point, we obviously moved the needle on what the so-called black man could be. What the so-called black man is if you pay attention to what's going on in your world, right? So having this conversation about the Pookie and Ray Ray thing, it's just kind of like, how do we go into the circular conversations and not move the pin needle about other shit? You understand? This is what I mean when we say this. Peace, she. This is what I'm talking about. So then you have dudes that come up on panels, sit up there talking about, oh, I got bitches. I got money. I got this. I got that. You see? I gotta stop from laughing because it's just amazing the mindset of how the manosphere is supposed to move doesn't move that way. We're not really giving out information. We're just gossiping at this point. You know what I'm saying? Going back to what I'm going to earlier, we're gossiping about Fresh and Fit. Is this going to be the conversation we're going to be having about next week? What, like, are we not going to be talking about what's going on, especially because Wacky said it earlier today on this panel, talking about what's going on in Haiti, talking about what's going on with these vaccines, because brothers is out here doing this research about these vaccines. And this is a disclaimer. If it's any brother out there or any sister out there that got the vaccine, I'm in no way shaming you. I am in no way making you feel bad for getting the vaccine. Your choice is your choice. All I'm saying is y'all just got to do research on what you're putting inside of your body. And that's with anything. That's with food as well. Food and drink. Because every day we're probably drinking or eating something that has all these harmful chemicals and materials and we don't know it. And then they're sitting up there talking about how there's so much metal in the water. I mean, why are we not talking about how Bill Gates is buying up all this land and around the country? How come we not talking about that? Like he's literally probably putting Monsanto crops inside these farms and then trying to kick out these farmers one by one. And let's not forget, there are so-called black people who are farmers, right? That they do exist. It's not like they don't exist. We just keep forgetting because we live in the inner city. So we're not going to really pay attention to that because we keep shopping at the supermarket or going out to eat for our own convenience. So we're not going to really want to find out about where's the nearest farmers, where's the nearest farm, how can I get my fruits and vegetables without going to the supermarket and getting conventional fruit? Even if they tell you it's organic, it's probably not organic. It's probably less pesticides though. You understand? And that's the thing that's not being mentioned in this space. I mean, I don't know how long I have to go with this. It's just profound. We find ourselves in a situation because you know why? So-called black men in this space love drama. That's the conclusion of this conversation. So-called black men in this space love drama. They love it. They love everything about it. The thing that's going on with Brother Polite, they on it. When it was talking about Young Pharaoh, they're on it. They're on it. There's nothing else that goes on with those type of conversations but that. Okay? Man, I'm beat. Like I'm listen, y'all got me out here talking. Y'all better hit that goddamn link and have a conversation with me, goddamn it. Y'all better share y'all damn y'all better share y'all damn opinions on what is it that I said, because this is real. Like this is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So just give me a second. I gotta I'm gonna lay off for a little bit because it's been a while since I was talking. Right? Give me a second because it's been a little bit. Hold on. All right, this is just one last time. If oh, okay, great. So, Tampa, you can hit the link in 5 minutes. I'm just gonna find a song to play, and yeah, I'm exhausted, man. I didn't talk the whole tight airful, man. I don't know why I keep laughing, yo. Like I'm just saying, it's a lot, man. So I'm gonna just find some music to play on the fly. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. All right, yo. No, anybody is available to hit the link. The link is right there. Let me pin it if you guys want to come up. God damn, I gotta pin the link off my phone because I don't know how to do it off of YouTube. Well, no, I do know how to do it off of YouTube. I'm bugging. All right. Anyway, yeah. Whoever just asked me that question, you can hit up the link right now if you want to. This is an open panel just to discuss the fuck shit I just seen. The fuck shit I just seen when I'm out here doing my goddamn live. Yo, this is crazy. Okay, yeah. 2 minutes. I'll wait for you, bro. Let me pin the link right now. Hold up. I'm gonna pin it. All right, is it pinned? I think it's pinned, y'all. Okay, yeah, it's pinned. Okay, yeah. Whoever would like to hit the link, hit the link. I saw Tampa say he's gonna come up in 5 minutes. I seen Wacky come up in 5 minutes. I mean 2 minutes. But the whole entire thing about the conversation was, and pardon me, because I think my internet is acting up a little bit, and that's because we're about to witness a hurricane over in the city or whatever. But basically, the whole entire conversation was just about these Manosphere dudes out here is just gossiping at this point. There's nothing else to really talk about how y'all claiming random ass niggas in this space. That's the only thing I said from this conversation. That's the only thing I said. I don't really like it because it's like you can't just put random people in the spot and say, oh yeah, they're part of the space. Like they never did no dirt. And the thing about it is I can't really talk much only because I only been here for officially a year now. But even still, you see me on panels. And I'm not trying to brag, but I'm pretty sure some people know who Bronzebird is. They know who I am. They like, oh, Bronzebird be on panels. Bronzebird this, Bronzebird that. So people are familiar with me. But just because a guy does content, and just because you Manosphere dudes out there like what this dude is doing, does not mean he's part of the Manosphere. So I think O'Shea was wrong for sitting up there saying that, and that's the reason I disagree with it. But then a lot of you dudes is just jumping on a bandwagon just because. It's the same thing that happened with Kwame Brown. Y'all like, well, then again, you were just sitting up there saying, "Oh, Kwame Brown, yo, make sure, cause Kwame Brown, yo, he should be in the Manosphere and this, that, third." Like, yo, bro, the only way you get claimed to be in the Manosphere space is if you actually say you're in the Manosphere space. The only way you're going to be put as a notable content creator for the Manosphere, I guess, is if Obsidian says that you're part of the Manosphere. Now, I've been on panels with Obsidian, but Obsidian, obviously my views is way lower than a lot of these content creators. So of course it would mean that I'm not going to be recognized as a voice for the Manosphere. Not largely, that is. Right? So I understand that. But my thing about it is, if we're going to talk about who's in the space, I need Obsidian to pull up those stats, bro. I need him to pull up that official list. If y'all not pulling up the official list, why y'all claiming random niggas in the space then? That's all I'm saying. Like it's enough bullshit going on from day to day in the space. Like you got dudes trying to dox people. You got people who's mad over random shit and then making live streams talking about fuck the Manosphere, but I see you around on Manosphere panels. Like, yo, I mean, like, I'm really trying to understand this for myself. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's enough shit to go around. Is basically my point. And let me say this. Let me see this. And I appreciate that, Tampa. I'm just trying to work to get to that same level, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. I come out and I really do this for y'all, yo. Like I mean, like I was okay. Just to give y'all a brief history, I was hesitant on doing on making a channel, but I was like, yo, fuck it, because I know I can contribute to this conversation. I'm familiar with doing audio anyway, so yeah. Peace, Wacky.
What's going on? Peace. What's going on, yo?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, chilling.
So what's your thoughts?
You know what, man? I didn't get a chance to hear what you just said. You know, because that's why I was like, I was coming a few minutes because I was busy with something. Now I came back. So what were you saying, if you don't mind me asking?
So what I was talking about was I was out, right. So I came home and come to find out these dudes are still talking about this fresh and fit shit. Now all of a
Oh,
sudden, because of I believe O'Shea now is sitting up there talking about they're excommunicated from the Manosphere, and I'm confused. Like, who the fuck ever said they was part of the Manosphere to begin with? Who is these niggas? Like, I've never heard these dudes ever claim they're part of the Manosphere. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? like,
exactly. That
like,
is. Well, I don't listen to them dudes. I don't really
mm-hmm.
fuck with them dudes, so I never knew if they claim Manosphere or not. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if they did claim to be a member of the Black Manosphere, right? The question is this. I mean, you put up a good question. When did they ever say they were part of the Manosphere? But another question is this. Let's say if they did claim to be a member of the Black Manosphere, what power do O'Shea or anybody have to kick somebody out of a space that's relying on a platform like YouTube that they don't own?
Right.
Like you don't like they don't understand. You have no control over this online community when you do not own the platform that this online community use to display their content. YouTube, Facebook, those are the two main platforms that the Black Manosphere rely on to make their content.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own no fucking YouTube or Facebook. Therefore, if we don't own those platforms, we can't control who comes in, who comes out. And not only that, but it's funny because my thing is this, and this go to O'Shea or anybody. If you're going to excommunicate those two niggas, excuse my language, those two dudes, right? Then you gotta excommunicate a lot of other members of the Manosphere who done
Thank you.
some worse shit than that.
Thank you.
You got okay, you got a motherfucker in the Black Manosphere who actually is considered a member of the Black Manosphere, who have went to prison for sexually abusing an underage female. No one's talking about excommunicating him. You got a dude on here, right? A dude on here, another content creator who claims to be Manosphere, who's friends with this Caucasian guy who tried to put O'Shea Duke Jackson in prison for something that he never committed. I don't see anybody excommunicating him. You got another dude, right? Another content creator who made a statement I would saying that I would love to see Black women drown in their own blood. No one's talking about excommunicating that person, but yet you talk about excommunicating them two dudes from Florida over what? Over them just being themselves because they some natural born hoes anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the problem is the rest of YouTube were too stupid to realize from the jump. See, I realized that shit from the jump. That's why when I first heard of them dudes and I saw a couple of their videos, I already knew what they were about. So from then on, I said, I ain't fucking with them. But the rest of the Manosphere were too stupid to realize what I saw from the jump. Now they want to talk about some excommunication shit. Nigga, this ain't the Catholic Church. Fuck out of here, man.
Thank you.
This ain't no motherfucking Catholic Church. Excommunicate your mama out of here. Fuck out of here. Shit. Talking all this bullshit.
And to add to that point, it's like dudes get too a little bit too like proud and when they say things, right? Because you have certain dudes that say some outlandish shit like we know that when it comes to the hospital, for instance, there is a lot of malpractice on so-called Black women. Now you'll get dudes out there that will say some outlandish shit like, yeah, they should die. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all out here on this chat talking a little bit too spicy. Like, I understand y'all have y'all grievances with certain so-called Black women, but to sit up there and say that about Black women, you're foul for that. You're wrong.
Right.
Don't
Yes.
say shit like that. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Now you can say some shit like, oh, I just don't date Black women. I don't want to deal with Black women. Okay, fine. Keep it at that. But you take it to another level when y'all out here disrespecting Black women and y'all wishing them for the death. It's the same shit on the other side if you view pages like Divestors or maybe Pink Pill. that be out here sitting up there talking about y'all should be hung from trees, or that y'all should be shot, and all these different things. Or it's good when y'all die, and we sit up there and march for y'all dead asses at Black Lives Matter. Yeah, it's the same vitriol. That's why I said earlier, it's no difference with the shit throwing on both sides. Black women want a shit throw, black men want a shit throw. No, and then it's with me. With me, I'm just like, bro, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Y'all motherfuckers complain so much about each other. I'm convinced y'all married. I'm convinced. So, nah.
Exactly, exactly. Like you said, it's like a shit throwing contest. It's like they're playing, each side is playing volleyball, but instead of using a ball, they using a turd of shit, and they just volleying it towards each other. You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
know,
I don't
you
get
got
it.
yeah, you got a motherfucker Cynthia G with her big old weave jumping up and spiking the turd. You know what I'm saying? And you got Obsidian trying to spike too with his short ass. But yeah.
Obsidian, and it's like I noticed that Red Supreme will usually, because I'm starting to realize Red Supreme does similar antics, but his thing is go to war with crystal swirls, right? And the thing about it is that the thing that I never enjoy about both sides is y'all just bringing white people into the conversation for nothing. It's like y'all just using white people as an alibi to prove what that. Oh, I'm gonna get myself a white woman, ha ha ha, or I'm gonna get myself a black, a white man, ha ha ha. Like, what does it prove? Nothing. Like both of y'all are dysfunctional as fuck.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is that okay, if you guys want to date interracially, just do it. All
Right.
right, just do it. You know, it's. But the thing is that at the end of the day, content creators do things. They do things that's going to boost their popularity, and they understand the game. They see that you're going to garner more attention when you make content that's based on that level of fuckery. You know, when you unfortunately the way this black manosphere is now is that you get more attention doing stagnation content, like Sir Bialu says, doing stagnation content, which is based around fuckery, drama, soap opera, BS, and and if you make actual quality content, aka evergreen content, that's based on actual substance and intellect, you're not going to get any attention. And since a lot of content creators realize that, then they're just hopping on the fuckery bandwagon for so they could increase their popularity and get some cash apps and live off of the monetizations of these videos. That's all it is, man. But the thing is, what they don't understand, and you just pointed this out, Bronzebird, that in the long run, the results is that you're just adding fuel to the fire when it comes to the bad image of so-called black people, because it's
Mm-hmm.
bad enough that we have a mainstream media for decades that just made our people just look like just look terrible, but
Look
now
like clowns.
look like clowns. Now you got regular people, in the world, regular people coming onto social media and actually increasing, or they're further perpetrating that stereotype that the media's made us out to be. Therefore, how does that look upon the whole world? How are you going to make black people in America look upon the whole world? Because remember, on YouTube, the whole world is watching us. So
Mm-hmm.
when you do that type of stagnation content and you already have a mainstream media that put black people in America in a negative light, how are you going to further look? How you going to, you get what I'm saying, right? You're
Yeah.
actually just putting more fuel to the fire when you come out on social media and you're promoting those same stereotypical images that the media promotes about us.
Exactly. And this is the thing. If this the whole entire goal was to differentiate yourself from the low hanging fruit of so called black men, you're not really you're not really illustrating it just based off of your action and how you talk while you're on these panels. That's why it's like it's that's why I like when the whole entire conversation evergreen versus stagnation content comes in because it's clear to see. It's clear to see. There's
Right.
there's no reason why grown ass men should be concerned about a boxing match between two groups of dudes that's that's content creators, and mainly the whole entire thing was a disagreement, all because one dude said something that was below the belt, and the other dude was like, "I'll box you right now." It's the same thing dudes saying in Manosphere. Catch the flight, nigga. It's the
Yeah.
same shit. There ain't nothing different. A bunch of random dudes online arguing. And I'm not gonna say it's just so-called black men that argue like that, 'cause so-called white men do too. But at the same time, y'all are trying to pitch this idea, let's be different, let's show an alternative so-called black man, but you're not moving any weight on it. And the thing about it is that it just is really upsetting to watch a bunch of niggas argue about dumbass shit. I gotta come home and hear niggas talk about tricking. Like, how are y'all niggas talking about tricking when the idea about it is if you're going to court a woman or you want to get sex out of a woman, you're gonna spend money on them. You are. I mean, unless you fucking a shorty right then and there, that's the only way you're not really quote unquote tricking.
But see, the thing is that see, I don't want to get into the tricking concept because tricking strictly about buying prostitutes. I don't look at a man who's in a relationship or in a marriage with a woman and spending money on her doing sweet things for her is tricking.
Right.
Because if you in a committed relationship or in a committed marriage, you're going to spend money on her for the fact that you love her and you want her to be in good position. You love her, you love your woman, so you're going to make sure you're going to provide a roof over her head. You know what I'm saying? You love your woman, so you're gonna bring her out. Make sure she enjoys the time. You love your woman, so you're gonna buy her nice things. You know what I'm saying? You love your woman, so you're gonna make sure that on a financial level she's straight. That's what a man does. That's the job of a provider. You love your woman, therefore, when you have children with your woman, you're gonna make sure you're gonna do your part as a father and help her raise these children. So to me, that's not tricking. Tricking is strictly about a person buying prostitutes. That's it. That's all it is. You can't compare that to a guy, genuinely liking a female, so he wants to take her out, or he's in a committed relationship with the female, so he wants to do nice things for her, and he wants to provide for her. That's not tricking, man. And people go too far with that tricking shit, man. It's like
there you go.
It's like when people go too far with that simp shit, But going back, damn, I was gonna make another point.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. The thing is that this point. Yeah, this point. Now I remember, right? And you know what's so funny when it comes to all this soap opera BS that we see in the black manosphere is that all we see is adult black males acting like the black females that they complain about. That's it. And I'm gonna say that again. When it comes to this whole soap opera BS, all you see is so-called black males, adult black males, acting like the black females that they complain about. That's it. Dumb niggas are big booty Brendas with a dick. Pause that. That's it. That's it. These who are sitting there gossiping, walking around and paying attention to some sort of drama between a couple of dudes on the internet.
Yep.
And they ain't never going to meet. I'll say that right now. They ain't never going to meet.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they do meet, that's on them. That's on them. So whatever happens to them, somebody go to jail, somebody gets shot up. I don't wish that on someone. But if they decide to put their lives on the line and that happens, that's on them. I hope that never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like there's more important things to talk about. There's more important things to talk about, man.
And Wacky, I wanna just clarify, not to go back to that the tricking point. The only reason I mention it is because it's just bugged out how these arguments about what tricking is and what tricking isn't, and you expand on this. This is why I agree, because there's nothing wrong for doing right for a woman that you're interested in. Now, the thing about it is you should have standards, because if it's a woman is sending you the wrong signals, why would you want to spend money on her with the hopes of having sex with her? She's not going to really give you what you want because, because you're not really feeling her vibe. But that's my idea on tricking, because they take it from one point and then try to stretch it out on normal women as if it's wrong for a man to, splurge on a woman that he's interested in and he's courting and then try to say, "Oh no, don't simp, don't be tricking on these hoes." So we're applying concepts that's probably just viewed for prostitutes, women that's involved in sex work, and then trying to apply it to everyday women. When there's everyday women out here on average that take care of themselves, can pretty much probably pay their own bills, and y'all applying to shit that don't matter. But going to the idea of gossiping, you can expand on that. I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
Yeah, most definitely. Everything you said was correct. Everything you said was 100% correct, on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, man, like what you got now, yeah, you still have males in this space just talking about this fresh and fit thing. And of course, you already know that all of this is just a business move. It's just a way just for them to remain, just for their channels to remain relevant and just continue to have a lot of views. Because
Right.
any type of thing that's any type of drama that unfortunately becomes popular in the space, a lot of people in this space are going to talk about it and tag the people's name that's involved in the situation in order for them to have a lot of views. That's all it is, all for views. But in
Mm-hmm.
the long run, see, these people don't look at things long term. Long term, when you look at the long term consequences, all you're doing is giving black males a negative image. All they're doing, right? When I look at this shit, all I'm seeing is people, males in this case, who are proving Cynthia G right when Cynthia G make these dumb ass statements about black males. Now, mind you, I can't stand that female.
Mm-hmm.
But what I hate even more is when people prove that female's point.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it's like no lie, because when I first came in, I remember I got a rude awakening from Big J Triple X, but slowly over time getting to know him, because we was beefing for a while, and then I was just listening to him, and I was just like, yo, you got a point. I don't enjoy how you keep sitting up there talking about I follow behind Obsidian. I don't be watching his videos like that, Big J. I just want you to understand that, all right? But as I started listening to him, I was like, he got a lot of points that make sense. So I was just like trying to hear from both angles, like, yo, what y'all saying? And it's just like, as long as I keep going along, it's just kind of like dudes ain't really trying to move the needle. Like there is no, first of all, there is no rules to the space. It's just kind of like any Negro that come in, you're part of the Black Manosphere. There's nothing more than that. Like it's just a bunch of dudes that just be like, yo, you part of the Manosphere? All right, cool. And then it's like when they have the opportunity to just argue, they have the opportunity to just argue about fucking dumb shit with women that obviously don't give a fuck, or Keishas. It's like, okay, let's go at it. But this is the thing that pisses me off. Anytime they have a point of reference to uh, bring up women like Cynthia G and Crystalline Carrison, it's kind of like, for what? Like, it's kind of like you just want to drive more attention to women who obviously is trying to paint y'all in a bad light, but you're giving them more attention. Therefore, they're going to make the videos on y'all feeling like shit. It's just like if they wanted to make videos, you see some videos like how you got these black women that keep sitting up there putting out these interracial relationships. Now y'all out here sitting up there doing similar things out here, trying to big up the white woman or a woman of another nation. Like, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, how far do we go with this fucking bullshit, fam?
Man, listen. When it comes to the Manosphere and Cynthia G, it's like the Manosphere, it's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. Like, okay, if anyone in the Manosphere is going to debate with the likes of Cynthia G and her camp to try and defend the Manosphere, it's a losing battle.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose because Cynthia G don't even need to say nothing. You know what she does need to do? Just hit the screen share button, and play the many videos of people in the Manosphere saying so much stupid shit, and she'll win unanimously by knockout. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she'll win by knockout, TKO. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
not even that. They have the dude. What is it? That dude expose the Manosphere cat. He'll
Yeah.
clip it and analyze all the points that these dudes in the manosphere. Because I used to be like, oh, I can't stand that dude. But after a while, I'm like, shit, man, he's kind of he's
Yeah.
starting to get at y'all, and I can't really say nothing, yo. Like y'all are like y'all doing this to yourselves. So it's like if it's dudes that's critiquing the space, okay, you can try to find a way of acting against it, but y'all making yourselves look like assholes, man.
Right.
And one
Right.
and one more point too. One thing I don't like is dudes that's really flip floppy in this space. One day they want to talk about they're in the manosphere, and then another day they want to say, "Oh, I don't fuck with the manosphere." Which one is it? Are you in or are you out? Just because you don't like a particular content creator, that doesn't mean shit. Like, stop trying to hop the fence and know exactly where you stand.
Right. 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 But right. Right. But at the end of the day, even though I get what you're talking about, but to some degree, I don't blame them. I don't blame him for being that way. But at the end of the day, you do have to pick a side. You can't say you're not in the manosphere one day, you're in the manosphere now. But hey, me,
Yeah,
I say this, I stand on this. I'm a member of the Black Manosphere. I'm just ashamed to see how it went because I'm considered a pioneer, one of the builders of this space. And trust me, Brownsburg, the way the space was back in 2011, from 2011 all the way to 2015,
different.
2008, excuse me, I'm sorry. From 2008 to 2015, it was totally different than what you see now, man.
Okay. Because I
So,
came here last. Because I'm literally. This is like literally like the anniversary of like me being in this space. And at first I was just like, oh yeah, you get hyped up on these panels, whatever. But after a while, it's like, what the
yeah,
fuck y'all niggas talking about? And this is a
yeah,
conversation I had with shout outs to Complex. Like he was saying a similar thing too. It's like the solutions with him and his crew was to talk about tech. And it was
right,
like those are the things that we should be talking about because we're building into the fourth industrial period. And technology is going to be a big thing, so we need to start talking about coding. We need to, I mean, obviously besides crypto and all these different things out here, that's very important. You know what I mean? And
right,
doing things like where I'm from, like you know, things like building your own website and learning little things like wireframing and all these different things.
mhm,
That's stuff that works. But niggas want to have it their way. It's all
yeah,
about the pussy at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah. All about the pussy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude.
Yeah. As if that's hard to get.
It's not. Like
It's not hard to get.
it's like y'all like 30 to 40-year-old men like trying to say, well, that like I don't know. But it's like, bro, if you
Right.
go outside right now, specifically if it wasn't this bad with COVID, I bet you my bottom dollar you'll talk to a woman easy, bro. Unless
Of
you really
course.
don't have no damn game. And not even don't have no damn game, you just don't you're socially awkward and you don't know how to have a conversation.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah. But going to your point when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution, this is the time, this is the right time for so-called black males collectively to take advantage of this fourth industrial revolution because we're still in its beginning phase.
Mm-hmm.
So the best time to get in and take advantage and capitalize off of the changing of this economy is from the very beginning. This is
Right.
the best time for so-called black men to take advantage of that. It's funny because I don't know if you watched this video that I made a couple of months ago. I spoke about how a couple of months ago how over 1200, I think it was, oh yeah, over 1200, no, over 1500 US companies got hacked as a result of a ransomware gang out in Russia.
Ah, I
So,
heard that story, yeah.
yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
covered that. And then I covered that and I said, and I made a prediction. I said because of this, a lot of companies are going to be more in demand of cybersecurity. So the demand of cybersecurity jobs is going to be high. So-called black males should take advantage of that, right? And guess who popped up in my chat when I said that?
Cool.
G. Lowry. And G. Lowry, he's in tech. Okay, he's
Mm-hmm.
in tech. And he popped up. He said, listen, there's already a high demand for cybersecurity. And he said it's been like that for a while. So G. Larry, a brother who's in tech, he said that there have been like a large demand of cybersecurity in a while. So there's a lot of positions that needs to be filled that haven't been filled yet. So the opportunity is still there for so-called black males to take advantage of. But what you see more black males paying attention to this fresh and fit
That shit.
nonsense. You know, you see more black males paying attention to, well, OnlyFans is going to get rid of their adult content after October 1st. Like,
October
who gives
1st.
a shit?
Nobody
Who gives a
cares.
fuck?
These
No
hoes are
one
gonna
cares.
find another way to make money off of their
Exactly.
bodies, bro. That's why women. That's how women. That's how they focus.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
see, I'm going to tell you how stupid these so-called black males are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, understand this. A lot of so-called black males in this space claim to be tech savvy, right? They claim to be smart and intelligent. Now, instead of sitting there paying attention to this, no, instead of sitting there just talking about this dumbass OnlyFans is going to cancel their adult subscription, yada 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 yada, right? And trying to use that as some sort of ha ha point to laugh at black females. If they were smart, right? I'm not saying I would do this because I have more morale than that. I wouldn't do this, but if they were smart, they will figure out a way to make their own version of OnlyFans for they could capitalize off of. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that I would do because I'm not into that. But these niggas ain't got no morals. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and not only that, these niggas claim they smart. So why don't they utilize that, take advantage of that, and make their own version of OnlyFans and make
The
some damn money?
Afrocentric one, the
Yeah.
Queen Nubian, the Queen
Yeah.
Nubian show.
Yeah. Yeah. Since and not only that, but that's not something I would do, like I said.
Nah,
But
I wouldn't do
not,
that either.
but these guys, they since these guys hate females so much and have no problems exploiting females, right? If they were smart, they'll do that. But you see how they too damn dumb. They want to sit there and make these ha ha points.
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha. OnlyFans is gonna cancel their subscriptions after October 1st, like they have no place else to go. And not only that, why the fuck is it fucking news? That shit is not newsworthy whatsoever.
At all.
We have a whole lot of problems amongst us as so-called black males as a collective. We got so much problems, man. And we're not coming together to solve these things, which is contrary to why this space was built in the first place.
And it's like a real up, and I want to make this point, especially about the cybersecurity stuff. Why I think it's also important is because I'm gonna do a study on this. I want to recognize a list of jobs that so-called black people usually take up. There's a conversation I had in real life because the thing about it is, and I'm not gonna knock nobody's hustle. I'm not gonna do that. I'm proud if a black man gets paid. I'm proud of a so-called black man is doing his business. At the end of the day, that sets me at ease, right? But the thing about it is, you're talking about cybersecurity. Well, I think it would be very important, and plus I heard this conversation as well, because not only is it helping for the fourth industrial period, it's also helping for the everyday so-called black man to get in a higher position than just doing security. Because even in New York, my friends always tell me, "Oh, I'm taking an 8 to 16 hour class and doing all these different things and blah blah blah." Now the thing about it is this: a lot of the jobs now is not going to be of anything in the next couple of years or probably in 10 years if the society is still up and running. Everything is going to be automated. So why not get on something that's more automated and up to that caliber? If you're tech savvy, if you know how to work your phone, you can know how to work a computer and do coding. You had an idea of doing coding back when MySpace was popular. So the thing about it is, if you take upon the idea of like, cyber security, boom, 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 we can start our own business from here, and now we can have the corporations hire us. And not only that, I also want to mention this. I'm gonna do a study on this as well. Out in Oregon right now, they have a so-called black construction company that's actually helping with the infrastructure out in Oregon, in the city of Portland, I believe. They have a so-called black construction company that's in charge of infrastructure out there. That's some shit that needs to be highlighted.
Oh wow. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They,
Okay.
yeah, they're helping out. If I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to be helping out with the streetcars or some upcoming bus rapid transit out there. And I was just looking it up, and it was just like, yeah, this is a so-called black construction company, and I was like, this is the type of shit that I like to see because that's a good thing because not like they're in demand for projects that's helping the city move from point A to point B because obviously we know transportation is important, but then we also have to take into effect also you can build houses off of that. You can build apartments, you can build whatever you want those units off of just that brand name itself because you have a team of people who's know that's movers and shakers and can be so-called black men. They know the strength from so-called black men, so why not put it to good use?
Right. Right. And if this so-called black construction company is in charge of infrastructure in that part of Oregon, that person is going to 9 times out of 10 be in need to have contracts with other companies like plumbing companies to set up the plumbing for different buildings, electrical companies, HVAC, you know. So this is something. Once again, Brownsburg, you hit a jewel. Damn, I never knew that. I'm going to research that. This is another potential opportunity for so-called black males to capitalize off of. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
Dude.
because yeah, and not only that, because if this is successful, right, in which I believe it will, even though I just heard about it, but I'm sure that the brother that's in charge of infrastructure, I'm sure he has an excellent track record, which is why he was chosen to be in that position for that city. But if he does continue doing a good job and does a great job with that city, imagine every other cities and towns around the world that might want to call on him. And if more brothers, that's possibly own plumbing companies, brick masonry companies, HVAC companies that team up with him and do a good job with him on that certain city in Oregon, imagine how much they'll collaborate with that individual if he gets a contract from other cities and towns around the world.
He'll be a gold
That
jewel.
yeah, that's a gold mine. You see, that's the
Mm-hmm.
level we should be thinking.
Right.
Wow.
And the thing about it is I'm still trying to wonder, even though I haven't heard anything yet, what happened with the people that decided to buy the 19 acres of land in Georgia. What happened with them? I haven't
Oh,
heard
that's a
no
good point.
news. Yeah, I haven't heard no new news on them, and I'm just like, if they bought, I was excited. I was like, hey, look, listen, I get my money up, I move down there my damn self. Once, you know what I mean? I'll move
Right.
down there.
Right, right. And what was so good about it, it was mostly, married black couples, married black couples who came together and bought uh that large parcel of land. And yeah, I'm interested to know the updates in it. A lot of the pro blacks was talking about how Caucasians was online complaining about that. And I responded to them. I'm like, so let them complain.
They're just talking. They're
Yeah, they're
not.
just talking.
It's not like I heard anything like they're threatening their life. Like, oh, you niggas
Right,
get off of here. You know what I'm saying? Like it
right.
was nothing like that. If they're complaining online, that's how as far as it goes. If you're putting their life in danger, then that's different. But if it's
Exactly.
complaining, who
That's
gives a
different.
fuck? Like white
E-
people complain about black people every day. Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? You
So
see,
what?
yeah. And the reason why I bring that up is because it's like what I can't stand with a lot of my people is that whenever you hear stories of so-called black people doing these types of productive things, or whenever you just hear so-called black people who have ideas, like innovative ideas that's productive, that may potentially result in a lot of great things for so-called black people, you always have this sect of our people who have this fear of white retribution. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fear of white retributions and what Caucasians would do as a result of trying to put a stop to it. I'm like, dude, why do you fear that? And they trying to utilize this fear of white retribution to try to discourage in these innovative ideas that some of our people may have. And I'm like, dude, A, why do you fear that? And two, even if, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if that were to happen, which happened in time past, guess what? The name of the game is to be able to counter that.
Right.
Yeah. If I understand in times past, you had so-called black people who were productive, who were self-sufficient, and you had a certain sect of Caucasians that came to destroy it, understandably. And understand that if so-called black people if more so-called black people start to work on it now, yes, they might be some sort of some sort of somebody that'll try to destroy it. But common sense would tell you for so-called black people to put themselves in a position to be prepared for that and be able to counter that. That's it. In this world, there's always going to be a group of people that's going to try to destroy something that you make, right?
Yes.
If you're trying to build something, there's always going to be some hater, no matter what color, is going to try to destroy it. The thing is that, okay, you gotta put your mind together and develop strategies to destroy that hater. That's
Exactly.
it.
And
That's it. Is
I
that
just
easy?
want to say this too. It just seems a lot of the times that pro blacks are just seeking white validation. That's just point blank, period. And that's the thing that really gets to me, because it's not like every time I do or I make an accomplishment, I'm looking for the white man's approval. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it's about me and whatever the Most High gifted inside me to move the way that I move. I'm not looking for the validation, especially from another nation. That's just without saying. I don't give a damn if this is the white man's ruling period, this, that, and third. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if you pro blacks is out here talking about we was kings. It's about now. You understand?
Right.
and
Right.
and and that's why I say y'all gotta get that off y'all chest. Y'all have talking points where it's like, well, we do this and da 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 because the white man trying to, like, it's like y'all still saying the white man is putting us down when the white man already know you and know that you're gonna sit up there and mention him in talking points, and he's just like, look at these Negroes. These Negroes just don't learn, or they're gonna keep referencing what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and talk about what happened in Haiti with the whole entire Clinton administration, like oh, a whole bunch of stuff that's just kind of like, no, we should be moving towards building, right? So we're moving towards building. Why are you not focusing around your immediate family or immediate people? Not the shit that some random right winger or I don't even want to say Trump supporter, because there could be so-called black people who's Trump supporters as well. Um, Dudes out here who might be far right and they might say the N word or might actually really hate you. Like, bro, fuck them. Like, it's about us right now. So y'all
Exactly.
are sitting up there thinking on another scale where y'all just like kind of peeking y'all head out the window. And my thing is, put your head back inside the goddamn building. What are you doing?
You see, you made a good point, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm just going to add on to your point. Not only do these fake pro blacks, these are fake pro blacks to do that. Not only do these fake pro blacks seek Caucasian validation, but they are in love with trauma bonding. They're in love with black struggle. Therefore, they don't. Therefore they try to make it their job to destroy any type of black progress in order to prevent our people to move in the position of progress, for so we can stay in a stagnant position where they could keep complaining. You see, a lot of these fake pro blacks are just in love with complaining, and and a lot of them capitalize off of it. A lot of them gets paid and become real popular on social media through complaining. So it's necessary for them to keep their popularity and their benefits from complaining to continue by making sure that black progress does not exist. These motherfuckers are the agents. I remember back in the day within the pro black community, people have a tendency to call somebody an agent for any little reason. But the people that I described, the fake pro blacks that I described, that want to keep our people in a stagnant position for so they could keep complaining, crying about the white man, the white man. Those people are agents because those people will try to discourage any type of solutions that our people may have or may be on the verge of accomplishing. They don't want solutions. They just want to keep complaining for so they can not only seek Caucasian validation, for so they could also capitalize off it because there's a there's an industry in so-called black people complaining about the struggle. It's an industry behind that. Look at Dr. Umar Johnson. The guy was able to get up to close to $1 million in donations, right? By complaining and acting as if he was going to solve or acting as if he was going to contribute in solving the problem with so-called black people, especially so-called black boys. But all he did is just keep complaining about the struggle and got more donations and still getting more donations. But you got the floor, bro.
Run them donations.
Yeah. Run them donations.
Run them donations. Brothers and sisters, run them donations.
Yeah.
I should start being an asshole and start sitting up there saying, hit that StreamYard link. Hit that StreamYard link. Brothers and sisters, hit that StreamYard link.
Ashe.
Hit that StreamYard link.
Yeah, by the power of the ancestors, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. That's AKA that damn trap house in Delaware. Please bring that donation. Ashe.
We need to have a conversations, brothers and sisters, for a Tunde from here to a Tunde to Mother Africa. Okay, hit that StreamYard link. Okay. Hit that Cash App. Hit that Cash App. Hit that Venmo.
Hit that Cash App. You know that white man don't want you to hit that Cash App. But don't listen to that white devil, brother. Listen to your ass.
Don't listen to that cave beast. Don't listen to him. He don't love you. I love you, brothers and sisters. Hit that StreamYard link. You see that sister in that goddamn avatar right there? Hit that StreamYard link, sister. For the Frederick Douglass.
I'll be right back. All right.
I got you. Yo, but that's the thing though, because when you understand exactly how this shit is, these pro-blacks don't say nothing bullshit, my nigga. Like that's what I'm saying at the end of the day. Umar Johnson was one of these niggas, man. Like out here sitting up there, and guess what the nigga is? This fat nigga sitting up there in Japan, sitting up there smoking a goddamn cigar in a goddamn jacuzzi. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you serious? And then you see the dude, Brother Polite, and the rest of these random weirdos sitting up there getting caught in all these allegations and all this other dumbass shit, man. Like, how far do you dudes go, man? Like, I'm telling y'all, that's all I have to say about it. This is why I differentiate myself from these pro-blacks. Y'all need to stop sitting up there thinking that Bronzebird is a pro-black. This shit is crazy. It's no... What do you mean, Miss Lee? What do you mean? It's been on my mind to be pro-black. There is no pro-black. It's like what Me and Wacky said. Pro-black is nothing more but seeking so-called white validation. That's what it is. White man, you got my back? If you got my back and I have my own TV show on CNN, hint, hint, Al Sharpton. Hello. You know what I mean? That's all it's about. So, I mean, the conversation is going to go that way. And my thing about it is, relating to dudes in the manosphere, they'll bring up the talking points about being pro-black, but they ain't pro-black at all. They're just sitting up there talking in a circular conversation. Of course it's profitable. That's what we talked about earlier. Of course it's profitable. It's profitable off of so-called black people's pain to be illustrated on television or here on YouTube. You don't run shit. Tell me where there's a black YouTube, there's an alternative to YouTube for so-called black people. Bunch of you niggas don't even support black-owned businesses there is. So y'all out here writing the rules and talking about what we should do when you don't do it yourself. That's where we at as a so-called people. These nations and this burning house you guys talking about. And that's why I say I get a little bit tired of hearing that Tulsa, Oklahoma crap. It's like y'all don't even try to do research. I talked about Weeksville, Brooklyn. I talked about how I found out about how there was a neighborhood in Brooklyn that was owned by so-called black people. Today's Brighton Beach. Then talking about Seneca Village before it even got popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. So my bad about that, Browns, but I had
No,
to
you good.
yeah, I had to pick up the score, but yeah, I'm back. Yeah, Seneca Village. Yeah, Seneca Village. And even now there's Browns, you know about this. Even now in New York City, there's upscale black neighborhoods in New York City.
Name one.
Oh, there's Asley Heights in Queens.
Oh yeah, but it's mainly it's usually in Queens though, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually in
Well,
Queens. I give you credit for that.
well. Hey, listen. Certain parts of Bed-Stuy, you got some upscale black folks in Bed-Stuy,
Non
bro.
gentrified though.
What happened? Is gentrified? Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. Oh
you
yeah, it's
gotta
gentrified.
remember.
It's
You gotta
gentrified.
remember, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna knock
Yes,
her like.
the star is gentrified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna knock it like they're still property owners, but you're still talking about a majority space that's like
Yeah.
gentrified out the ass. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they
Bed-Stuy.
still had Mount Vernon on the list,
Yeah,
and then
Mount
like
Vernon, and even out in Long Island, you have Uniondale.
yeah,
That's a upscale, upper middle class, so-called black community.
hmm
So-called black neighborhood. Yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and also like if I had there was some couple of other places that I researched, and it was like the Ladera Heights in California got mentioned, and a
yeah.
couple of other
Ladera Heights.
places. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
But you
Ladera
know,
Heights. Even parts of Maryland outside of Washington D.C. area.
the what is it? PG County.
Yeah, yeah. Well, certain parts of PG County because other parts of PG County is just ghetto.
Huh.
Yeah, certain parts of PG County. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man, and that's the stuff that we need to start celebrating, dog. Like, like it's like we like I don't want to celebrate hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if I talk, I say even if I get the money, I get the capital. When I get the money in the capital, shit, I'll move there. And I can still be around my people. I can still do what I need to do, and I don't have to do this struggle party shit. You know what I'm saying? And then also something I had mentioned was about Sandy Ground in Staten Island, which is Rossville, Staten Island of today. That was a consistence of so-called black population that had middle class to upper income. I'm not sure how it is today because I still believe that Staten Island is dominated by Italians. So,
Oh yes, it is. Yes, it is.
and they say, oh, it's not racist, but it's just
Oh
like,
boy,
well,
yeah,
it's
still racist as hell out there.
still racist as hell out there. I mean, it's still divided, dog. Like it's still like I mean, like St. George area, and then you gotta go up to like random neighborhoods in Staten Island where there's so-called black people, but like you'll still see a little bit of projects. And let's not forget, Park Hill is where Wu Tang Clan is from, and I was
Yeah,
out there.
Park Hill. Yeah, Park
Yeah,
Hill. Hmm.
so I know what it's like out there. So it's like yeah, but yeah, exactly, Mr. Lee, struggle party. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it's all about, and that's what it seems like these Manosphere niggas is about now. Like not even now, just this is how they roll. People can't wait to have a panel to talk shit. Wagner was good, man. You didn't know I had a channel, Wagner? Well, damn, nigga, subscribe. Oh, I'm gonna put on my Umar Johnson voice. My brother, you gotta subscribe, my brother. Subscribe to the channel, my brother. Brothers and sisters, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. There you
Ashe,
go. Good looks, Wagner.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe,
Ashay.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. You see, brothers and sisters. You see, the white man is trying to stop Wagner from knowing that Brownsburg had a channel, brothers and sisters. You see, don't let that white man fool you. And if you hit that donation button, that white man won't fool you anymore. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe, Dr. Alfontunde is telling you to subscribe to the channel, my brother.
Mhm.
Don't be a coon, my brother. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that StreamYard link for the good news so we can do this Frederick Douglass Academy out in Delaware.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit,
What?
yo. And once I started putting on to these pro blackity blacks, yo, I swear, because I learned it from my own like around the people I know, man. And it's just like it's a shame because they get the older generation a lot that come from like this, not the silent generation, but the generation of like the 1960s, and they still fall into the pit of what these pro blacks say. And I'm just like, can you have a conscience, please? It's crazy. Yeah.
Right. It's like, can you have a conscience? You know?
Because even when you debate them on it, it's just kind of like, well, you don't understand. They're doing it for a greater purpose. What great purpose? They didn't pocket. They didn't pocket a bunch of change for years. Even your own reverend is a rat. You know that, right? That he's a rat. And the fact of the matter is, you expect me to take some guy that talks this pro blackity black shit on CNN seriously? Mm-mm. I wouldn't. I would never buy it. I would never ever buy it. And the thing about it is, I could sit up there and release some information that they deleted off of New York One, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because they had some conversations about that situation that happened with Eric Garner. Not besides that, it was another situation, but New York One deleted it with the swiftness. They aired it once and then they aired it back again. So it was about a family member though. So I mean, it's just crazy how things was, and then it was just like they was noticing that guy's a fraud. They was noticing he was not Eric Garner, Al. They was noticing that he's a fraud, and it's like they was like, yo, all he's about is profit, and that's what it seems like a lot of these dudes is about, just profit, dog. I'm gonna read your comment real quick. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Exactly. It's like this. And I'm just so surprised how so-called black people, as a collective, haven't been able to see through this Al Sharpton guy, man. It's like, dude, all he does is that whenever a brother gets shot, he orchestrates these marches, which are mostly sponsored by these corporations. All right, and these corporations that sponsor it, they get a tax break, and Al Sharpton gets a whole lot of the money, and the rest of the people, all they get is exercise. And at the end of the day, the death of these so-called black people that they march for gets no justice because the person that kills them 9 times out of 10
Get off.
or either don't get indicted or found not guilty in the court of law.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I, we live in New York, so we've seen this with Al Sharpton time after time again.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Sean Bell and during the late 2000s when he got murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in 2008, the verdict came out, not surprisingly, that the cops who killed him were found not guilty, right? Mm-hmm. So now, man, listen, every single damn time Al Sharpton orchestrated a march. He orchestrated one march, then he orchestrated another march, then he orchestrated another march. I'm like, damn, how many marches is he going to orchestrate? God damn. And there was a time when, he was still a big guy. And I'm like, God damn, all this marches Al Sharpton running, he's still fat. The fuck?
Yeah, so true. And you know what? He had lost that weight. Or whatever, but like he was gonna go ahead and orchestrate a march across the Verrazano Bridge, and the PBA, or I guess one of the police chiefs or something like that, was like, no, you're not gonna do that, and they shut that shit down quickly. He didn't have nothing to say then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I remember that, yo. Like they shut that down quickly. He was like, all right, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I tried not to shame people because your beliefs is your beliefs, but it's like I said earlier. When do you have a conscience?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Like you see the dude only come out. Like, why is he not sitting up there trying to big up black-owned businesses or the people out here who's doing this work to better their communities, man? Like you just see this dude. What you think you popping because you got your little center, and then the fact of the matter is you still have the mayor come around. You still have these politicians coming around. The only good deed you probably do is sell out turkeys around Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
And give back. I mean, everybody does that as a basis, cool. But at the same time, like, what are you doing to move the needle? You've been around since the 80s. You understand? So it's no reason why you're still doing the same shit from the 80s, and each generation is calling you out on your bullshit, and you don't have nothing to say.
And you have nothing to say. Yeah, nothing to say.
Incredible.
Yeah, and do people even understand that he used to be a snitch for the FBI?
Exactly. That's why I said he's a rat.
He's a rat. Yeah, he's a rat. He used to be a snitch for the FBI. So, and remember, COINTELPRO is still in play within the FBI. The FBI never did away with the counterintelligence program. And within the counterintelligence program that was created by what's his name, man? This J. Edgar Hoover, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Yeah.
the, the cross dresser that I
Yeah.
call him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cross dresser. In the counterintelligence program, he stated that the United States government are going to plant their own black leaders. Okay.
Yep.
And being that Al Sharpton have his origins in the same group of people, in the same sector of the United States government that created the COINTEL program, what makes you think that he's not that plant that the COINTEL program stated that they was going to put in Black America? It's like people don't think about that. And they still follow. Even when I was a kid, I was like, man, this nigga ain't shit. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like when I said that, it's like a curse word around, my family when I grew up. Oh, you can't say nothing bad about Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
My family, they got the Haitian accent. Don't say nothing about Al Sharpton. Oh, what's wrong with you? Don't say nothing about Al Sharpton. Yeah.
You know, on my side, what you talking about? Why don't be talking about Al like that? And I'd be like, I just did though. Like y'all, it's like yo, you hear that from like you know how black grandmothers are,
Mm-hmm.
so-called African American grandmothers, man. And I'm just like, just because you might go to the same church as dude, don't mean that he your friend. Like I don't
Right.
understand why y'all skip the damn needle. It's like, look.
Right.
The idea is still take the rhetoric of the civil rights movement, which I'm not going to knock for certain reason. I'm going to go off of the beliefs. I don't knock that. But at the same time, then bringing that type of concept into the other generation, they follow behind you, and then they start to have a conscience and be like, well, damn, these leaders you sit up there and keep talking about ain't doing shit, but sit up there marching and just talking about the same old shit every single time a so-called black man gets shot. I mean, where? How far do y'all dudes go? And then what? He's just gonna go around to different events and be like, "Hey, it's me." Like, and that's the thing. This is a conversation I'm probably gonna have later on a
Mm-hmm.
Brownstone Powwow, because a lot of what's going on to me, I guess, and I do the research that I do a little bit time after time, it really starts to become apparent that the community is manufactured, and a lot of people is try to hold on to this idea, culture, but at the same time govern the fact of the matter, the leaders that was sent to you was involved with the FBI. That would mean that technically they knew exactly what plans to strategize for y'all to get sunk into the idea about how it's about struggle, so that y'all don't even think beyond the low level hanging fruit that's being presented to you. Y'all not even thinking high yourselves. Y'all thinking at a surface level.
Exactly. 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 That's a very good point. That's a very good point, Prospered.
Yeah.
100% true. Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like when you try to tell, especially like conversations I have with family and friends, it's like I keep telling them, y'all just thinking about slavery. Y'all go so far into divide and conquer bullshit around so-called black people. Y'all take it as far as trying to divide between Caribbeans and so-called African Americans. That is
Mm-hmm.
dumb. That is dumb. There's no
Mm-hmm.
reason for that. There was trades in America. Okay, like it did
Right.
happen. Okay, in the Caribbean islands too.
Right.
Okay, so it wasn't. It's just that when it comes to history, it's always just trying to point out the flaw. Oh, you so-called black people were stuck here, and you did this, that, and the third. Okay, but you know the inventions we made. What now? You can go online right now and look at the 100 inventions that was invented by so-called black people. They'll tell you
Yeah.
that at the surface, but it was probably more than that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not even probably it was, but they're not going to
It
even
was.
tell you that.
As a matter of fact, it was according to a book. And now I refer to this book a lot because people heard of Claude Anderson,
Hmm.
but little do people know about one of Claude Anderson's earlier works called Dirty Little Secrets. All right. Excellent book. I mean, he like basically it's a compilation of information about so-called black history that most people don't know. And he put that in his book. He stated that even during chattel slavery, there were plenty of inventions that the chattel slaves created, but because they were the property of the slave master went and did a patent for it and took credit for that invention.
Right.
Yeah. And there was a certain type of incubator that existed at the time. This is what Claude Anderson wrote. he utilized that as an example, like a certain type of incubator that
Hmm.
was created at that time. He claimed certain Claude Anderson stated that it was really a slave that made that, but his slave master took credit for it, you know. And he even stated that um, once chattel slavery was abolished in the United States, so-called black people had over 300 patents for inventions. Over 300 patents within, I'm just talking about just within that specific time span, like the 1860s. There was
Hmm.
over 300 patents from so-called black males and females. So just imagine how much more patents exist now, please.
Yeah.
So-called black people in general, they are the authors of creativity.
And
Mhm.
it's now they just get exploited. And like I said, and this is another thing I'm gonna do. I want to cipher down into music because I'm music based as well. They give you all this stuff to lower down your energy so you don't think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they it's like it's you obviously you and I both know they got us down to a science. So feeding the information where it's not useful and letting you be involved around shit that's not gonna help you is how they keep thriving.
Exactly, exactly. I like when you touch on that music part, right? I'm going to touch on it a little bit, just a little bit, right?
No, no,
Where
no. Expand, bro. It's open. Expand, man.
okay, okay, cool,
You got
cool,
the
cool.
floor,
Thank
brother. Keep
you. Yeah,
going. Let's
Pe-
build.
people don't even know how in music, when it comes to musical instruments, certain instruments, and Wadner knows about music. He knows about music, and okay, yeah, I heard that it was a so-called black person that invented ice cream. Yeah, but even with music, when it comes to almost every single instrument that's used in music, each string or each sound that that instrument makes, it's tied to it. It brings about a certain thought process or a certain feeling within inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, which is no coincidence why you might hear a certain song and you end up feeling depressed, or you hear another certain song and you feel motivated, and you hear another song and you feel amped up or hyped up, ready to fight somebody, or you hear another song and you just feel in tune with yourself, and you hear another type of song and shoot, you turned on, you in the mood of making love. You know what I'm saying? So that's the effects of that music has when it comes to the human psyche. You know, certain keys in the piano, certain strings in the guitar, certain parts of an instrument has an effect on the human brain and on the human conscious that's going to make us think a certain way. And the reason why I say that is because when you listen to the type of music that we hear today, especially modern day hip hop music, listen to the beat, right? Listen to the beat. That shit, the beat, a lot of these beats that you hear in drill music, it sounds demonic as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds demonic as hell. And I say the word demonic, ironically, this is the new term that these younger generations are using today to describe themselves. And that's supposed to be like a term of endearment. Yo, I'm a demon, yo. You hear that in New York, Bronx. You hear that in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah. I
Yo,
definitely do hear that. Yeah.
yo, I'm a demon. I'm a demon. I mean, you literally, it seems as if this modern day hip hop music have become so demonic, even the beat itself have become so demonic to the point of the fact that the generation that's listening to it are upfront admitting that they're demons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is, and it's no coincidence why drill music is tied to a lot of violence, because the beat is so demonic. It touches a part of the human psyche, in my personal opinion, that's going to motivate people to commit violence. This is how music and sound has that effect on the psyche. This is not just me talking. It's sound in general. Sound has an effect on the human psyche. Certain sounds is going to have an influence on certain moods that you're going to have. This is why professional athletes, when you hear a lot of professional athletes, they say when it's game day, you might even see that on TV if you watch football or basketball. You might see Like let's just say if you watch a basketball game on television, right? And you might see an athlete come off the charter bus and about to go inside of arena. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see them with a pair of headphones on their ear. Why? Because they're listening to music and a certain type of music that's going to give them a lot of motivation so they could have the energy to go out there and win the game. This is how much sound has an effect on the human psyche. Don't take my word for it. Just do the research. And I'm speaking to the people, that may be watching, because I know Brownsburg is intelligent enough to know that. But
Yeah, and I agree with that point. My theory is that it's also messing with your chakras. This is a theory of mine. I'm just putting this out there. This is just my hypothesis. I do believe that with the music of today, drill and trap specifically, that it's obviously operating from the lower chakra up. So the idea about it is that, and there go Wagner. Wagner is making that point right now. Makes sense since most feel good songs are set to love frequency, which is 444 hertz. Now, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. I forgot where I put my notes, but if I find it, I will. That the fact of the matter is this: that it's 432. What is it? The frequency. I was paying attention to the frequency. 432 is the standard, I believe. 436 is the current day trap music. Me and somebody else was chopping it up about this, but my thing about it is that demonic thing, and then it's also that it relates to now these like random internet cultures, like this whole entire thing of like the sad boy culture, suicide boys, and this, that, and the third. Like this is really something that's out here. But obviously, the world turns and it starts to become more narcissistic. So now the whole entire topic of conversation in these songs is just, oh, I gotta kill a dude, I gotta sell my packs, or I get girls and this, that, and the third. There's no elevation on the frequency of it. Now this is why they have a hard time. Why, and they did this strategically, because even like the radio station is always gonna play the payola, going to take or play the top 40. That's their standard. They don't want to give, and it's specifically in New York, they do not want to give New York artists who may be conscious or maybe versatile in their music a shot. Not at all. And the thing that sucks about today's music is it has to follow behind another culture that's in the mix. So it had to follow behind Atlanta when it came to it. Now supposedly it followed behind Chicago for drill, but it followed behind UK because the beats sound like grime and it sounds like garage music. See, the thing that was great about the 90s was you could tell which person, you usually could tell which artist was from which region. Atlanta dudes rap like Atlanta. New York dudes rap like they was from New York. New Jersey and New York rap together. They sound basically the same, right? Chicago dudes rapped a certain way. Mississippi, Texas, California. You understand? Even in California, dudes from LA or Long Beach wasn't probably rapping like E40 and the rest from the Bay Area. Hieroglyphics. You know what I'm saying? Cats like them.
correct.
And now what you have now is it's just such a mixture that they're just putting everything together because that's what sells. And so now with this whole entire drill thing, it's spreading like wildfire, not only in the United States, or they try to say New York drill or Brooklyn drill. Now they got drill going out to Australia, Japan, or all these different places out here that's doing drill. In Australia out there, the Australian gangs out there, they're known for sitting up there doing, they cause violence out there. It's mainly knives. I think it's knives last time I checked. But stuff like that. So low level energy music to be marketed to this generation. And that's basically how it rolls. But the dudes out there that really want to be versatile with their music, no playtime. No playtime.
Yes, exactly.
None.
Exactly. None. No playtime. No playtime.
Dude.
Because you definitely right. When you speak about especially hip hop in the past, you definitely right. Because I grew up in that era where you can tell a rapper from New York City just by hearing the type of music that they would rap, just by the style, right? You can tell a rapper that's from the southern part of the United States just by the style of music or the style of rap that they would do. So each region had a unique style of rapping, and it was cool. It was cool. But going to going what you saying that artist who's versatile and who's really an artistic genius, who's really creative, they get little to no radio play. It's and you're right. Now you have to follow behind a certain culture when it comes to an artist's music being played on the radio, because now it's with the music industry now. It seems to be all about money, all about
Mm-hmm.
money. It's all about what sells. Where in one point in time within the music industry, people embraced creativity, people embraced art. Where of course it was still a business, but in the past there was a little bit more balance where it was okay, yes, it's a business, we want to sell, but also we want to see some good quality stuff. So people, it seems as if people knew how to balance the art part of music and the business side of music. But now that balance is gone. That
Yep.
balance is gone. It's about fuck the creativity, fuck the art, what's going to sell and make me money. And this demonic shit is what's selling right now, unfortunately.
And no lie, I know insiders that's like in the industry. They telling me that it's all about a gimmick, and especially like they're giving these socialites power to go ahead and make music, even though they don't know how to rap or sing. Uh, they're they're literally like these could be thotties that's just chilling around these random male celebrities. They be like, you know what, make her a song, write a song for her and stuff like that. And it's just like, are you freaking kidding me, man? Like
Yeah.
this is the level they go to, man. These industry plants as well.
And you got to realize too now with the technology, a person don't have to have a great singing voice. The technology is going to improve all that.
Auto
So you
tune.
can, so a person can go to a studio and they sing about, ah, blah, blah, blah. Then you just utilize technology to, you know, you utilize the technology to improve on it a little bit. And when it comes on the radio, it sounds very clear.
Hmm. That
And
you
that's
know
true.
what killed it too though, and I
Mhm.
know you're gonna agree. That auto tune crap killed it because dudes that
Mhm.
like you said earlier, dudes that just like anybody that can't sing, that auto tune is just kind of like saving them because they like the thing about it is you hear with a lot of these dudes like I said, rap ain't really rap. It's like dudes that just sing rap. It's a difference. And
Right.
there's also a thing that I get irritated about, which is something I'm going to talk about on a panel on the 11th, is that the thing about it is that these dudes usually sound very monotone. There is no
Yes.
there's just a flat signature or a flat way that they sing. There is no ups and downs on it. They stay with the same pitch, and then
Hmm.
that's just how the song goes. And as long as it's on a trap beat, that's exactly how the standard of that music is.
Right. Right. That's correct. That is correct. There's no high note or lower note. No, people don't change notes with their voices. It's just this flat monotone.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that even within that flat monotone, they're not really saying nothing. It's like I can't believe I'm living at a time where people, where so-called musicians can be real popular by making a song in which they're not really even speaking. They're just mumbling or singing some shit not making sense. I mean, do you listen to the lyrics to some of these songs? It's like the shit doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense.
Yo, I'm at a loss, man. It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, this is what's popular? But then again, this is what happens when society makes constructive criticism a sin. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In today's world, giving constructive criticism is looked upon as something bad. You're going, if you give constructive criticism to anything in the society, you're going to be looked upon as a hater, someone who's jealous, or just some negative person, or just a pessimist. No,
Or some type of
yeah,
phobe.
some type of fool. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, you're neither of these things. You're just objectively giving your opinion of what you're observing. And that's how it's supposed to be. And one of the biggest mistakes in hip hop, I'm gonna put this in, I'm gonna make this about hip hop, what I'm about to say. One of the biggest mistakes that ever existed in hip hop is the term hater.
Right.
The hip hop world popularized the term hater. I didn't hear this term hater until the late 1990s, okay? Like 97, 98. In which, initially, and I'm sure the term hater existed before that, but once the late 90s hit, people was really utilizing that term. And it's just like in the Manosphere how people take the word trick and the word simp out of context. That's what happened in the late 90s. They end up taking the word hater out of context. Hater originally mean a person who's jealous of another individual, right?
Yes.
But then they started using that term to shame someone who just critiques something and say that they didn't like something. It's like, okay, now you're a hater. Now you're a hater. And that was the ultimate shaming tactic. If you if someone if a person openly mentions how they don't like something. This was what was going on in the hip hop industry during the late 1990s. And the thing is that it created a culture where nobody wanted to be considered a hater. That's what it did. It created a culture where no one wanted to be considered a hater. So since no one wanted to be considered a hater, it's like, okay, I have to do things that is opposite of hating. So therefore, I can't critique nothing. Therefore, I have to act like I'm accepting something. So what ended up happening during the early 2000s, since people feared and did not want to be called a hater, people pretended to accept any little type of music that they heard. But then that ended up evolving into people genuinely loving and accepting any type of music that they heard. So it's to a point now where that's what's going on in hip hop, where the fans are accepting, embracing any type of song that they hear on the radio because it originates from people not wanting to be haters, therefore not making it cool to give criticism to something. But I've been speaking for too long. You got the mic, brother.
Not at all, bro. You know I enjoyed the builds.
Yeah.
The thing about it, it reminds me also in the Manosphere where they use the term incel out of turn a lot. They just call anybody that don't agree with them and say, or especially when we get down to the conversations about women again, they'll sit up there and say, "You're just an incel." The fuck is
Right.
y'all talking about? And the
Right.
thing about it is, it's like going to that conversation about hip hop. It just becomes so goddamn so low par because it's like you really listen to dudes, and it's like if your head is not shaking in that car when he pops in his CD or pops in his MP3 player or off his phone and all this other stuff, y'all ain't really got nothing to say. It's just like they just be blind. It's like, oh, this is good. Now, why would you lie to your bands like that? Because I've come around. I've been to too many, and I mean too many performances. And I've sat back, I listened, I'll be like, all right, that's you. All right, cool. If y'all want my constructive criticism, y'all can have it because I'm really going to tell you how I feel about it. And I ain't going to have no restraints on it. But if you don't want to say anything, you just want me to, if it's about being quiet and this, that, and third, fine. Because a lot of these dudes that think they can rap, they want to talk about their music as experimental. Nigga, please. You're going to put your track on SoundCloud and talk to the people, and then if you make an album, you'll either put it back on SoundCloud or put it on Bandcamp. I know this too much. So
Wow.
my thing about it is, even when we get down to the ciphers, dudes don't want to cipher no more. Bro,
Mm.
I still got that old school energy in me, and I'm young. We both young. And the thing about it
Right.
is, when it comes to ciphers, let's throw down. Let's throw down. I spit off the top of my head 16s, no problem. That's how I roll.
Mm.
Give me a beat, do acapella. That's how I do. Dudes don't want to do that. They be like, "Yo, I'm a rapper, but I don't cipher." And I'm
What?
like,
Really?
bro,
Damn.
this is this generation. And I sit back and I'm just like, wait a minute. You're an artist. You're a rapper. Now, y'all niggas is getting gassed up by what happens on High 97 because DJ Funk Flex is getting a little soft now. Okay? He
Hmm.
is. I'm sorry. He is getting soft. And y'all dudes is getting gassed up just because y'all think that reciting that trash ass mumble bullshit you call rap on a damn cypher on High 97 is sick. No, it's not. Yeah, like I said before, when it comes to a cipher, you supposed to cipher as a rap artist. That's how you prove ain't nobody fucking with you. Look, listen, I write a rap song right now and I kill most of these dudes. I'll kill most of these dudes when it comes even ciphering, because you got these dudes stuck. They be like, "Yo, Bronze, how you do that?" Look, listen, it's easy.
Wow.
If you know how to catch a beat, if you know how to sit up there and go on flow and go off on a beat, it's nothing else to talk about. If you don't know, then you just don't know. It's not for you. But
Right.
because they let the leeway happen so largely and let these dudes get away with murder, you don't have to
Hmm.
cipher. You can recite your writtens. That's what you can do. And then when you even if you listen, even if you because they've done it before. Like, look, we had the whole entire scandal with Drake back in like '09 when he was sitting up there ciphering, doing a cipher off of his BlackBerry. Okay, like my thing is at the end of the day, I don't understand how y'all call yourselves artists and you know the rap culture requires y'all to cipher. Like
Right.
how do y'all not know that? Like that's how it
Right.
usually goes.
Right. You got to be able to kick a freestyle. To kick a freestyle on the top of your head, man, on the top of the dome. I mean, part of listen. The main thing of being an MC is being able to cite lyrics off the dome. You have to be that creative enough to be able to do that. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
that artistic enough to be able to do that. If you can't, then you're not a rapper.
You're
You
not.
know, it's almost like if you're playing a sport. If you're playing a sport, if you're playing baseball, you have to know how to hit a 95, 100 mile per hour fastball. If you can't do that, what type of baseball player are you? You have to know how to catch. You have to know how to throw the ball. If you can't do something as simple as catching the ball, what type of baseball player are you? You're not a baseball player.
Not a
So
baseball player.
yeah,
You're
that's the
softball at best.
right softball aspect.
you
Right. That's the
know?
yeah, that's the basic fundamental to emceeing. You have to be able to spit. You have to be able to rhyme. You have to be able to give poetry. You an artist. You're supposed to be an artist. An artist creates, and an artist can create or should be able to create like that.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's
and
the
it goes back to the concept of my fault to interrupt. It goes back to the concept of MC when you break it down, mic
yes,
controller. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
You're supposed to be able to control the crowd. It's just like you. It's just like when it
yeah,
comes to acting, you improv.
right,
That's what elite immaculate actors do. Like they know how to improv on the spot. They don't say no to the opportunity being represented by a fellow actor. You just go along with it. And it's the
right,
same thing with rap. And it's just like when I talk to these dudes, it's kind of like when you think about it, their whole mindset is a cipher is like what happened in the 80s. Like it was a
wow,
certain cadence. It was a certain cadence how dudes rap in the 80s. So we don't want to do that in 2021. Wrong. Because the thing about it is being a spitter requires you to just know exactly what's up. What's good, Mike V?
what's
But
up, Mike V?
you just know that. So there's no
Yeah,
reason why you shouldn't know how to cipher. Like I don't
right,
want to hear your whack ass trap beats. Even if you give me your whack ass trap beats, you better know how to spit. I don't want to hear no motherfucking bullshit about you repeating the same two goddamn lines talking about bitch on my dick. Yeah, yeah. Blah click. Like, no, I don't want to hear that. Because
but
that's the same shit I always hear.
you know what, Brownsburg, like I
Yeah.
said, you know, rappers of today, so-called rappers of today, they're able to get away with that because it stems from the culture that was started about, good, that was started years ago, which created this fear of criticizing someone that's not that good because no one wants to be called a hater.
Mm-hmm.
That all stems from this I don't want to be known as a hater culture where no one wants to be shamed, where no one wants to give any criticism, fearing that they'll be shamed. So when there's no criticism or no shame, excuse me, when there's no criticism, therefore there's no standard of what is good and what is not good. And when there's no standard, this is what you have. You have a culture now where anything is accepted, and that's what I see now within the hip hop culture because there's no real standard. Anything can be accepted. Even it's now accepted based on what you said for a person to be considered a rapper and not know how to kick a freestyle. It's like, dude, what's like? You're not an artist. This is art. Hip hop is art. Being an MC, that's art. It's just like being a DJ, being a producer is art. It's just like being, back in the day, brothers used to break dance. That's art. Music is art.
Right.
Art, you're supposed to be able to create just off the dome. See, there's a certain level of intelligence that comes with being a musician. Musicians are smart, they're smart people. They smart on a creative sense. And if you don't have that creative intelligence in you, then you're not an MC. True MC has that creative intelligence. Look at some of the greatest MCs, very intelligent people. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Chris Parker, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
KRS-One, Nas, even Jay-Z, I gotta give it up to him. He's an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? These are intelligent people. But once again, when there is when we have a culture that started back in the late 90s, this nobody wants to be a hater culture, once again, then therefore nobody critiques. So when there's no critique, there's no standard, or nobody preserve a standard. And when a standard is not being preserved, anything is accepted. And when anything is accepted, that's when you see the watering down of the genre that we call hip hop.
And this is one more point that I wanna add to this. Just number one, it's the sing rap for me. Number two, the thing about it is now it's so watered down, they're just giving anybody the title of being a rapper. And that's something I don't enjoy, because now it's just saturated with just calling anybody a rap artist. Like, for instance, just to put it out there, even though he's a favorite topic of conversation, Lil Nas X is not a rapper. Just like people try to claim Post Malone is a rapper. Post Malone wasn't a rapper. He was a R&B singer at best, or a singer. So it's like, why are y'all sitting up there categorizing and labeling these random dudes as rappers when they are not rappers? They are more. They sing more. They sing. You understand? That's the thing that y'all don't seem to get. Now you have dudes that's versatile. Unfortunately, because I still have to listen to the music of today, and I pick a little bit of jewels of certain new artists that are good. They are versatile, whether they rap or sing. Good example, even though this might be a bad example, shit. Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez does that shit. He raps and sings. Chris Brown had his stint of rapping and singing.
Yeah.
Bryson Tiller, who I'm really upset at, because he could have. And the thing about it is, even going off of R&B, just to scare off the topic just a little bit, Bryson Tiller could have took the whole entire trap soul to another level. That could have been his market, and he ruined it. I'm not even sure what happened with his management team, but he could have capitalized on that, because he could have made a whole entire subgenre off of that. But going back to my point, like, especially with that, they sing and rap, but now blurring the lines and just calling any old person that just gets on a mic, especially a so-called black person, even though Post Malone is so-called white, y'all just calling them rappers. I dare y'all sit up there and talk about how Lizzo is a rapper. Lizzo ain't a rapper. She's a singer. She's a pop artist. So why are y'all giving these random labels and these categories to people who are not actually rappers? This is what I'm talking about.
Once again, a lack of standards in hip hop. Which caused people to get away with that. See, when I was growing up in my teenage years, in my childhood / teenage years, you know what Post Malone would be considered as if he was rapping around, or excuse me, not rapping, because he's not a rapper. If he was making music during the time of my childhood or my teenage years, he would be called an alternative singer. Yeah, in rock music, there was a subgenre in rock music which was called alternative
rock. Yeah.
Alternative rock. And he would have been in that category. Same thing, even with not Lil Nas X. I mean, wasn't Lil Nas X at one point was considered a country singer with that Old Town Road crap?
Yeah.
He won an award for country music, right? He won a country music award.
He did, but then certain people tried to relate it and say that it's country rap. That's what they try to say. And it was like, wait a minute. The last time we had country rap was Nelly. Nelly was like country rap, yo. Lil Nas X
And nappy roots I
Nappy
consider
Roots,
to be country rap,
right? You know, it's like you
Yeah.
knew that, but with Lil Nas X, they was like, oh, it's country rap. I was no. That in particular was country. Well, well, at the least neo country because it's country trap. Uh, that's exactly what the fuck it was. It wasn't anything
Man.
else, and that's why I was just like, no, it's a difference. Now, before that, he had a song that was actually dope, where he was actually rapping. You know what I'm saying? Before he got into
Mhm.
that Montero bullshit and all that other stuff, he actually did a song that was actually pretty nice. I liked it.
Okay.
Um, it's like "Carry On." I think that's the name of the song. Um, Yet that was where he was rapping, but it was just like Old Town Road. Nothing about that was rap.
Nah,
So
nothing.
why? And then the thing about it is, they didn't even want him to have the regular version. He had to have the version with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right. Mm.
So that whole entire original version was finito. Now they sit up there and say Billy Ray Cyrus is the one, but Dad thought that was supposed to be the remix, but obviously not. They just wanted that to be the main song for Old Town Road, and
Mm.
that's when we get into discussion again about how they just blur the lines, and then there's just no respect out the window. Now then, it's a demonic thing. The being demonic is cool because then the whole entire Montero thing came in, which I think is an occult personality, in my opinion. Uh, that's where then it was just like, yeah, Devil Boy and this, that, and the third. Yeah, this shit just gets sick. And that's why I'm saying it just gets ruined because now you have those type of artists out there that really do that demonic shit. There's
Mhm.
another artist right now. It's this chubby boy. I don't know his name, but he tries to incorporate the whole entire death metal with trap and does that
Wow.
sad boy type of music and that whole entire and he's a rapper. I'm like, how the fuck is he a rapper? He's literally
Mm-mm-mm.
doing death metal on the trap beat.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
This is the stuff I'm talking about. And who do I blame for this? This experimental bullshit period that they had. Me growing up, I at least know the experimental period. I would say was around 2010 2011. I would say that because then 2012 in New York was Beast Coast. So it was Pro Era, Bodega Bams, then it was ASAP Rocky and his crew, and all this other stuff. And even with ASAP Rocky, they was experimenting with another sound. Then trying to sit up there and say, this is that New York flavor. Come on, man. Like, how far did y'all niggas go? Like,
Mm.
the experimental crap, that's what I mean. The experimental stuff is what kind of added on fuel to the fire. Now, other than that, I would say like there was this that debate in 2006. Nas says hip hop is dead, right? Then Soldier Boy and the rest of them came out 2007, 2008. But that early to mid 2000s was what the snap era that came from Atlanta in the South. The whole snap music, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's I
Well,
I got listen, Wacky. I
we
gotta
could call
save
that
that
we could call that
conversation for the
crunk music.
11th,
See, we
huh?
call that snap. Oh, we could call that crunk music.
Crunk,
Yeah,
you know, the snap, lean with it, rock with it, all that other
yeah,
stuff. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
This
I know at
is,
that time they called it crunk music, or
yeah, it was crunk music.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
that's where the term trap music started with Ti. Ti started that term trap music.
yeah.
But really, if you want to break it down, the original trap music was, in my personal opinion, started in Houston with either in Houston or in Memphis, either Houston with UGK or Memphis with 8 Ball and MJG. But
Okay.
yeah, my personal opinion.
We gonna expand on this on 11, bro.
Yeah,
Cause
I
I'm a lay it out flat. Cause I was like, I know I need this. Cause I you know, cause even if you bring it back before 1973, there was still that elements of pre-rap before it was actually rap. So I
yeah.
definitely do want to tackle
Oh
that
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
So
I know exactly where you're going with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm though. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
chop it down on that, but I'm gonna drop down soon.
yeah.
Thank you for coming up, bro. Appreciate you, and thanks for
Oh,
sharing the live too.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Thanks for inviting me on. But before I leave, I
Oh
want
yeah,
to
go ahead.
comment on something that you said when it comes to artists that knows how to rap and sing.
Mm-hmm.
To me personally, the best artist who I've heard that was just as good rapping as they were singing was Missy Elliott.
Hmm.
Missy Elliott, because
Okay.
she know how to rap real good, but her singing voice was off the hook. So, but that's from my teenage years. You know, she was from my childhood, my teenage years. You know, as
I gotta
far as
say
the
Lauryn Hill, bro.
yeah, oh yeah,
I
Lauren
still
Hill,
gotta
Lauren
say
Hill,
Lauryn Hill for me, man.
yeah, oh yeah, Lauren Hill, Lauren Hill,
Yeah.
yeah, Lauren Hill, because yeah, but Lauren Hill. But the thing is, see, Lauren Hill, she was a one album wonder. You
Yes.
know, she was a one album wonder, and but Missy Elliott throughout the 2000s consistently was putting out new and new albums from the late 1990s to the mid 2000s. She had like
That's
a
true.
whole decade stretch. So she was consistent, like she was consistently putting out music where she sung and rap just as equally as good. So yeah. So that's why I would put her on top of Lauryn Hill because of the larger catalog.
Oh
But
yeah, I
as far
agree. I
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
but as far as sheer talent, Lauren Hill got it as sheer talent. You
Hmm.
know, yeah. But
Yeah, man.
you know, I'm about all right. So I'm about to bounce, man. It was great having you. Excuse me. It was great you having me on your panel. You know, great building with you. You know,
Great build too, Wacky man.
all right,
As usual, as you know, I put the channel down after I edit. And yeah, stay tuned for some more Brownstone Powers, man. Appreciate you being here, man. Peace.
all right. Peace, everybody.